Hello. Hi YouTube again. I'm saying it again because it's for a new video. Um, who won the tournament? James Neal tied for first with some expert who lost to a 1600 in the first round, but then won the rest of his games. So that's kind of weird. And James isn't from Colorado, so he's technically not the state champion. It's the guy. The guy beat Daniel in the last round. So I mean, but yeah, this is before this. This is the guy who told me I'm never gonna be a master. And then we played. Um, um, okay, so I don't really. I was kind of like annoyed at this person, but okay. I did some. I was do okay. So so I was doing some prep on the toilet before this game started. I had my phone out and I was doing some chess tempo because I had like half an hour before the round started. And then someone came in and like tried to like break the door down and like was like shaking the door and like trying to kick the door in and grunting of this like the stall I was in. It was terrifying. And then she just like went and sat in the stall next to me and like exploded. It was really weird. But there were 3 other stalls open. I don't understand. But it was terrifying and I didn't say anything. I was just like shocked, and then as soon as it was safe, I just ran out of there. But I prepped the wrong line. My prep did not help me. So, and then I was looking around the tournament to see like whose shoes matched that person because it was really weird, and I didn't see it until the end. And I think it was this woman that was there with Brian for some reason who wasn't playing, and I was like, okay, that explains it. Okay, so all right, so I knew he plays the French. He's one of these sick fucks. And I prepped this line. This is what I thought he was gonna play. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just thought he would. And then he played knight of 6. And I'm like, uh-oh, I'm not very prepared in this. So I played e5 and I played f4. I think I've only played this once before over the board, if ever. And I only know a few little ideas here. So he plays c5, and I play knight f3. He plays knight c6. I play bishop e3. He plays bishop e7, and I play queen d2. This is all great. But then he plays a6, which I know in this move order, I think if he plays a6 here, like a3 is what I'm supposed to do, and it's well, Josh let me in on a little secret on why you play that. Besides the reason I thought it was, but there's 2 points to a3. Number one is that I'm sort of preventing b5 in a way, because this is a very good position. I don't know how you take, probably here, and then you take and you play b4, and this is the point. So this move is to stop b5. So that's what I knew. But also, apparently, it's to play bishop d3 without having this happen. And there's like these lines that I don't remember. They get all complicated. And I think, well, okay. First let's get here from the move order that actually occurred in the game. So we played a6 and I played a3 because I just thought that, I mean, it could transpose into this position and I'd have a better idea of what I was doing, because if this position had arrived via a6, a3, bishop e7, queen d2, something, I don't know. But then he castles, and I thought for like, I think 10 minutes here, because I didn't know where to put my bishop. I wasn't sure if e2 or d3 is what I should do. I felt like d3 was right, but I also like didn't remember that ever really happening. But it is what I should do, I think. Or wait. What the fuck was Josh saying? Oh, no, Josh was... Okay, so Josh said that in this position... Oh, no, I figured it out. Okay, so the difference is... Here's the difference. After bishop e7, queen d2, but queen's on d2. That's the difference. So if we get here from this position, if I play bishop d3 here, then he has queen b6. And after this move, he has queen a5, check. And this is a thing, but he has... I think he takes, and then I play b4 sometime. But in this specific position, I think white's just... b4 isn't working here. There's some scenarios where you can play b4, but this is not one of them. Okay, you play b4 here, I think? I don't know. It's something like this. But the whole point is that... That's what... Okay, bishop d3 is maybe not that good here. So that's... You play a3 here. And then also a3 is like, you know, sometimes there's that trick of trapping the queen like this. But after bishop e7, queen d2, a6, a3, I could play bishop d3 here, and queen b6 is not helping. Because knight a4, he doesn't have queen a5, and black's queen is just stupid. So now I'm like actually starting to understand the nuances of the French a little bit, at least. So I feel like I learned something. Because the move orders always confuse me. But there you go, that's what it is. So, but I just played a3 to try and transpose into something I knew, but it's more accurate to just play bishop d3 there, because this is an inferior way to play, I guess. I mean, it's fine, but it's like slightly inaccurate, I think. But okay. He castles, and I just couldn't figure it out. I don't know. I don't think bishop d3 is that great here, but I just don't know. Thank you, Evan, for the gift sub to the person. I ended up playing bishop e2. Bishop d3 just felt wrong. I don't know. It just felt wrong. I don't have much to say about it. I just was sitting here not understanding the position, and I decided to just go with my intuition and play bishop e2. But then here, he played b5, and I was very confused, because I thought that was just a bad move here. Because I take, he takes, and now I play b4. And if he moves the knight backwards, I think I'm just much better. And that was the point of a3. And this guy's supposed to be, like, good at the French. But, I mean, that's kind of hard to do because the French is just bad. So he has to play knight e4. But, yeah, it's fine, I guess. But I feel like he's just... Like, this is a terrible position for black. Because if he takes, like, in the game, I mean, I don't know what else he does. So I'm going to blockade on e3 with my queen. I could play c3, and I could castle queenside. And you know, I could maybe play for a4 or something like that. And black just has... There's just nothing to do. There's nothing to do for black. You just sit there. So... And I also have these plans of just winning the pawn. So maybe this is equal, but, like... I find black's position quite disgusting. So, bishop b7, queen e3, and he plays this move, which I thought was stupid. I mean, I just don't understand queen d5. Maybe it's not stupid. I just didn't get it. I don't understand why you're doing this. Cause okay, I just ignore you. I just castle. Rook fd8, and now I put a rook here, and it's like, why did you put your queen here? Now you have to move your queen. And here is like a good learning opportunity here. So what would you do here? So this is some shit that Josh pointed out to me. I love showing my games to Josh because he shows me the other half of the game that I didn't see. There's like another half of the game that was there the whole time, and I just didn't know it was there. So here are your options: rook c1 or c3. I played the French a couple times and couldn't stop throwing up the entire time, so never again. Well, that makes sense. What if c4 then rook c1? feel like I don't know, but I feel like I like rook c1 better first because it's not allowing black as many options. Because I play rook ac1 and you have to get your queen off of that file. I don't really know though. Maybe c4 is just fine. Like, what if he takes it? Because if he takes it here, you want to play rook c1. I don't know. This is probably about the same as rook c1. I don't know, actually. What? Computer wants to do this shit. What the fuck? Okay, what? Okay. Oh my god. This is so... This is fucking nuts. What? Oh god. Okay. So you're gonna win this bishop somehow? Okay. Yeah, that's something that could happen, I guess. So yeah, I don't see a problem with c4. But here's the thing. So I understand why the computer is saying what it's saying, but so I played rook a c1 because I thought my break was c4. I thought that was my break because I thought a break on a4 was just too hard to do because at the very least he could play queen e8 and bishop f6 and it's never going to happen. But if I play c3 here and he plays, I don't know, like h6 or something, if he just does nothing, I'm going rook d2 and I'm going here. But I was also concerned with just queen e8, and if I ever try and double rooks, he has this annoying shit. But rook d2, and I'm already threatening to play a4, because if I play a4 right now, it takes, and I have this move. And if he plays bishop c6, I have bishop d1. So it's important to use this rook, not that rook, to double. And the thing is, if he plays bishop c6 right now, I have bishop d1. And if he ever tries to stop my rook from coming here, like, I'm just gonna go here anyway. So this is what Josh was saying, and this, like, blew my mind. I just didn't think a4 was, like, gonna be possible to get in. I mean, that's crazy. But that is what white should do. I played rook a to c1 because I thought c4 was my break. I didn't understand the position. I think it's a fine plan. I just c3 is better because this bishop is just never ever leaving. Ever. So there you go. So he played rook c8 and I played c4 and he took and I took, and I guess he's supposed to take that here, which is insane to me. It's completely unhinged. But it's because of g5, which is just fucking nuts. I don't know. He played this move. I wasn't expecting that move. I don't know why. I thought he was gonna move the queen backwards to e8. But he moved it forwards, and I thought that was a bit strange, because okay, I play rook d to c1, and now it's kind of difficult for him to stop my rook from getting on the 7th rank. At least one. Thanks for the gift, 7. The 202th second, whatever. But yeah, now my rooks are coming in, and this is quite a difficult position for black. We don't expect the French players to move forwards exactly. Yeah, so he trades a pair of rooks. And he plays queen d7. I don't know why I put a circle here. Maybe it was an accident. And here I was just thinking about, if I trade the queens, I think this endgame is winning for me. That's what I was thinking. So I was just trying to make that happen. If I only trade the rooks, then it's probably a draw, because his queen could probably get in at some point and have checks, and it's annoying. But if I trade the queens, I think this is a win. So I played bishop b6, and he played rook c8. And yeah, I don't want to trade queens because it's just equal. So I played queen d4, which I think was a good move. And if he doesn't want to trade queens and also just let my rook become super active, he has to play queen e8, which is kind of disgusting. But now I can trade the rooks because I'm also forcing a queen trade. Because after queen d7, I have queen c7. And now we have a fascinating endgame. So evaluate this position. Endgame time. Yeah, I had 4 endgames. One was only briefly an endgame, but black is not up a pawn. It's equal pawns, but this pawn is very weak. So I think white is winning here. But it's not easy. It is not easy. And this was one of the games where I only had a 5-second delay as well. So he played king f8. I played king f2, which I think is good. He played king e8. And here, after this game, I lost this game. And I was so incredibly dumbfounded at how I lost, because it's just never a game that you ever lose. And I was just sitting there, and after that my opponent had left, I was sitting there at the board, just sitting there thinking about it, and I couldn't figure out where I went wrong. And I sat there, and I was just playing it out by myself, and I think I figured out the key moment. And this guy came up and I was talking to him about it. So there are a few good moves here. I played the third best move. I'm still technically winning. So b5 is always an idea because it's not hanging a pawn because I take on a6 and this is supported by the bishop, and that's a way to get a passed pawn. So that's always an idea. Here I don't think it's really anything, but it's just really not intuitive. It's not an intuitive endgame, it feels like. Maybe it will become intuitive the more I study endgames, but... Okay, so it changed its mind, and now it's saying my move is second best and also winning. So I played king e3 because, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? But bishop b6 is more accurate, because this is not a tempo anymore on my bishop. So if here I play bishop d4 and I haven't lost a tempo or something. And also I don't think I necessarily... I don't know, I don't really... If I'm being honest, I don't really understand bishop b6. It's saying bishop b6, f5. I don't understand, because this seems like something that happened in the game. I don't understand what makes this move order so good. I don't know, maybe someone can explain it to me. I don't get it. But it's half a pawn difference. Josh pointed some other shit out to me here. So I played king e3, which is it's just what you do. And he played king d7 here. And so it does sort of make sense if you think about it. It does make sense, because here bishop b6 isn't so good. I played bishop b6 here, but here Josh was saying bishop b8, bishop b8, bishop b8. I did not consider bishop b8. And now if black wants to kick out my bishop, he has to spend a move doing this. And now I'm on this diagonal, but I'm up a tempo. And now if he goes here, it's my move. But in this position, if I go bishop b6, it's black's move when I'm on this diagonal. So bishop b8 wins the tempo. And bishop b6 saves the tempo in a way. And maybe if here maybe I played g4 or something. I don't even know. Or g4 is never actually necessary, but I thought it was when I was looking at it by myself. So, yeah. I don't know.
Your burger is ready.
Yeah. Can you bring it to me in your underwear? Okay. Okay, so it's about tempo. Tempi. Temperuni doonies. Oh. Whoa! Look at all those turkeys. Look at this shit. Okay. So, like, how was I supposed to see that? How was I supposed to see that? I didn't see that! But Josh's instinct was to play bishop b8. Isn't that insane? How are you that good? Okay. So, I just suck, so I played king e3. And then I played bishop b6. So, like, it went from, like, +1.5 to +1 with those two moves. And then he played f6. Okay. This is really, I learned a lot from this game. So, f6, what's going on? What's going on here? What does white play here? Well, how I lost this is I went under 5 minutes and I blundered. Like, I just blundered. I mean, I played I ended up getting an equal position by accident, but it was just equal, and I went under 5 minutes. I thought, so I had 3 minutes left, blundered, wrote it down, and then stopped keeping score because I was under 5 minutes. So, yeah, this guy's a lot better than me apparently. I don't know. I don't see it, but kind of a weak master if you ask me. I didn't feel the strength like I do sometimes when I play strong masters. Okay, but this is a critical point in the game. This is critical. You need to play the right move here, or you're not winning. But you're still on the better side of equality, I'd say. So bishop d4. Bishop d4 seems like the right move. That's what I played. That was Josh's instinct, actually. But this is such cool endgame shit. Okay. So, I don't know why, but I didn't really consider taking on f6 for very long at all. Because I felt like I was letting his bishop out if I didn't have this pawn here. Like, I thought he would go like this and have a bishop, and I was like, in that case, I'm not any better. But here's the important part, alright? So, if bishop takes, then I play bishop d4, and I'm just completely winning, which I don't think I saw. But if he takes here, I have time to play g4, and that's the point. I have time to play g4. And after that game when I lost and I was just sitting there and I just kept saying, like, I think I had to play g4 at some point, but I don't know when. So the way that this is winning, I think here it was actually saying bishop c5 here, which I need to take time to understand. I think black will just be in zugzwang at some point. But you want to keep these pawns connected. You need a g-pawn. Because the way I did it, I played bishop d4, f5, and I should probably still play g4 here. But now if I do this, I'm not really winning, because if we just look at this pawn structure, okay, he might even have g5, I don't know. No, g5 I don't think works here. No, g5 is a bad move. Okay, but if he plays g6 or something like this, then I push. And I'm gonna have, I think I might have, like, if you look really far down the line, there's this idea of h4, h5, h6, bishop h5, g6, h6, h7, h8, winning. So that's one idea to win, which I didn't consider. But in this position, his position's a lot less solid is the point. I guess. I don't know. I thought this pawn was helping me, but it was actually hurting me. Like, in my head, the pawn on e5 was restricting his bishop, but it's actually restricting mine, and I didn't understand that. That's just something I didn't understand. But I don't know. It's just, endgames are just fucking difficult, so. Yeah. But did that idea I point out, did that make sense to everybody? With, what was it? It was like this or something? Yeah, here. Can everyone visualize that? Like, I'm just gonna make random moves with this bishop so I can just show it. Oh. And now this bishop can't do this. So that's an idea. Okay. So, and in my head I was like, oh, but I need this pawn here to do that. But I don't, because the bishop does a better job of doing that, because when there's a pawn here, the bishop can go to f8 to g7, and so it's not really a winning plan. I don't know, I thought the pawn on e5 was a good thing, but it's not. It's a bad thing. So, I just played bishop d4, and he played f5. And now this is really fucking difficult to win. I played bishop c4, which I think is a very good move. Practically, at least. Because now he has these two weaknesses to defend, and, you know, there's that law or principle of two weaknesses, where if you want to win a game, you need two weaknesses to attack. One weakness is sometimes not enough. So that's another reason I thought this would be favorable for me if he ever pushed his f-pawn, because the e6 pawn would be super weak. So, because he plays bishop c8, and now from here, I started calculating some shit. So, from here I saw this idea. b5 takes, b takes a, and, you know, I'm gonna have this idea at some point where if I push this pawn, and he plays, or if I get this pawn here and he plays king c7, and I play a7, because he wants to keep this bishop here to defend this pawn. I still play a7, and if king b7, it looks like he's stopping the pawn, but I have bishop a3 winning a piece. So I saw that idea. And I saw that if bishop b7, I take on e6, and I might be winning that. Okay, so this is what I saw. And that from here. So I played b5. Okay. I think if he takes this way, it's probably a draw. Or I think it's a draw either way, actually. But, I think it is just a draw from here on out. After I didn't take on f6, I think this is just a draw till the end. Except for the last move I played. But, so he played bishop c1, and to be perfectly honest, I missed that he's picking up this pawn. And I was feeling upset. But, here's the important thing. I was sitting here and I was upset, and then I was thinking about it, it's like, is this so bad? Because his bishop is kind of cut out now. And now I'm like, if I get the king here, then that plan works very well. So, I thought for like a long time here, just like thinking really deeply about shit. And my line started with g3, and then I would bring the king, and I was just thinking for way too long. And then I was like, okay, I figured it out. And I forgot to play g3. Because I spent too much time thinking. This isn't where I blundered. This is still holdable, I think. So he takes on h2, and I was like, oh fuck, I forgot to play g3. And now I have no time. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna commit. I'm just gonna get in there and I'm gonna do it. And okay, here I think what he has to do is play bishop f4, g5, d8 to stop my king from getting to a5. But he didn't do that. He played g5, which I thought was like that shocked me because I thought this was the only way to stop my plan. So I play king b3, g4, and okay, I think he can still do this, right? It's like, okay, oh, I get it. That's what he's doing. But now I go here. This is an equal position. Now I go here, and I was expecting, like, I don't know what I was expecting. I guess this. But then he played f4. So it's like, okay, so he's just ignoring what I'm doing. I don't think he sees my idea. So I play king a5, and now I'm actually going to show the idea. So now when the king my whole king maneuver was just to make him play king c7. Because when he plays king c7, a7. I have a7 here. So if he goes here, I take, and I'm doing just fine here. And if he goes here, I have bishop a6, winning. This is actually, I think, checkmating. So a7 is winning a pawn. So he has to play bishop b7. I take on e6. He plays f3. And I had like 6 minutes here. And I played this move, and I thought it was checkmate. Well, like, no. When he played f3, I thought I was threatening checkmate. And then he went here, and I was like, what? And then I realized it wasn't checkmate. So thankfully I didn't say checkmate or anything. I still played the move because it's a good move. And he plays king c6, and I take... Well, I throw this move in because this is a winning move if he lets me do that. So king d5 is forced. Now I take, and I play e6. So evaluate this position. No chess streamer gets more excited hallucinating some hot endgame lines. So, okay. This is a weird position. Black is up a pawn. I have 2 pass pawns. He has 2 pass pawns that are connected. I can't evaluate this shit. Yeah, me neither, apparently. Because I thought I was losing here. This is zeros. This is just zeros. This is completely equal. And this is where I went under 5 minutes. Or no, he played... Okay. Oh yeah, he played bishop d6, which is the only move. So, but now, how does black win? How does black make progress? Because it's actually not clear. This bishop is completely, like, controlling these squares. And this bishop is tied down to this pawn. And it's just unclear. This bishop is tied down to this pawn. So this is tied to this. This is tied to this. These pawns can't move because of this. So what's happening here? How do we draw this with white? This is equal. I'd probably resign. Well, I thought I was... Oh wait, I promoted the wrong main line. Oops. Okay, so I thought that the way black was going to win this was with the h-pawn. I thought he was going to march the h-pawn, march the orch-pawn, and I was just looking at this. I have 4 minutes left, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I feel like I'm losing, but I don't know how. I don't know what to do here. Bishop c7 would be good, except for that this is check. So that would work, but it's check. So I thought until I had 3 minutes left, and I took this pawn because I thought I was losing anyway, which is a losing move. And then I think I played a few more moves, and I don't have a record of that because I wasn't keeping the score because it's a 5-second delay for some reason. I think I might have held this if I had an increment, actually. But here, you have a very easy way to draw, actually. So if it's black's move right now, what is black's plan? How does black make progress? That's how we have to think about this, I think. What about bishop f2? Bishop f2 is a way to draw. So the way you draw is you just move this bishop back and forth like 100 times on these squares, and black can't make progress. You just do nothing. You just move the bishop back and forth. And I was having hallucinations about him just pushing this pawn, but the thing is, even if he gets it down here to h3, I take it and I'm still defending e6, and black just can't do anything. Is it that disgusting? I lost this. I played this game, like, pretty well, I think, for me, especially because it wasn't my typical style. But I just go here. What does black do? What does black do? Like, bishop c7, I just go back, actually, here. And if it takes, I'm winning. Because even if you go here, I have bishop h3. And then you can't defend this, and this, and this, and this. So, then you just go back, and then I go back. So what else is there? Moving the king somewhere? I feel like moving the king is going to get dangerous, because they play king b6. You have to be really accurate here, because they might even have some tactics with this at some point. So, if anything, white will win this, actually, I think. I think if black tries to push here, he'll lose. But I just was, like, psychologically, it was... I hung 2 pawns. And it ended up being fine. It was still equal, but I didn't do it on purpose. I was just... And I think that really messed me up, and I just kind of assumed because I didn't do it on purpose. I wasn't being objective about the evaluation of the position, because it's... How can I hang 2 pawns and still be equal? How is that possible? But yeah, this was an insane endgame. I mean, and I was just like, listen, no one was more shocked than I was that I lost. I couldn't even figure out a way to lose. I don't remember how I lost exactly. I remember I played, what the fuck's going on? I remember I played, stop doing that. I played this move, and he took here. But now these pawns can't be stopped because his bishop is free to help. But I just had this weird thing where I thought he was going to push the h-pawn and I was going to lose. But he can't. There's absolutely no way to prepare pushing the h-pawn. What if black goes to king e5? Oh, if I play, like, here, king e5. Well, here... Well, I just go bishop h3 and I'm blocking it. And if your king gets too far away, I feel like I'm going to play king b6. Or maybe I have bishop g3 at some point. So, like, here... what was the rest of your line? King f4, try and play e3. Yeah, but I play king b6, bishop a8, and bishop c5. And then you have to go back, I think. I think you have to go back here. And if you go back, I obviously can't take this, because I think that would lose. But I just play this move, and you can't make progress. I just didn't see bishop h3 as blockading the pawn. It just didn't cross my mind. I was just simply thinking he has an outside pass pawn. That's it, and I'm losing. And that's why I lost. I lost because I thought I was losing. But yeah, the French is great. I got totally outplayed the whole game by a really good master. So, but yeah, I mean, and plus this was an exhausting fucking game. I used absolutely all of my time. Yeah, next time I get this endgame, I'll see it. But I mean, I had so many interesting games. Oh my god. This isn't even the most interesting endgame I got. It's fucking awesome. Alright.